Hey, how's it going? So, as someone who is now in their mid 30s, who is married and has no children, I get asked a lot what my plans are to have children. And I don't think this is a weird question. I actually ask people this question sometimes too. It's just something to talk about. If you're at a wedding, you see someone you kind of know, but not know so well. It's like a good conversation topic you can talk about for like 5 minutes. So I think it's a totally normal question. Although, the last two times I've seen Beatrice's uncle, he just straight up asked her if she was pregnant in front of everyone. And that was kind of a weird question. But anyways, the more I get older and without children, the more I realize that having children is kind of like joining a cult. And here's my thought process, right? So okay, obviously your parents have been part of this cult ever since you were born, right? And they're like your number one supporter, so they're really hardcore recruiting you to join this cult as well. And obviously, like in a fraternity, like you'd be like their little bro, right? So they're vested in having you join this cult. But your friends who have children are also like part of this cult as well, and they're like the new hires, the neophytes, right? And they're like hardcore recruiting. Hey, yeah, it's not that bad. It's super worth it. Like after the first 2 years, it gets so much easier. Yeah, I wouldn't trade it for the world, etc. And I realized recently there's actually levels to it. So I was hanging out at my friend's house, and my friend has a kid, and my other friend was there who has two kids, and he's like, "Hey, your house is so big. There's no reason you shouldn't have two kids in this house." And I was like, "Damn, this guy's recruiting him to have two kids, while he's recruiting me to have one kid." So that's when I realized, damn, there's like levels to this thing. But I'm just kidding. I don't actually think that having kids is a cult, and none of my friends are pressuring me to have kids. My parents aren't even that bad about it, to be fair. But it is kind of interesting to think, because I always thought that I was gonna have kids like when I was a lot younger, but then now that I'm older, I'm like, man, there's a lot that you have to sacrifice to have kids, and it's a lot of work and responsibility, and I'm not ready for that. And at the same time, I go out and I see people with kids, and I just assume that they're probably younger than me, but they're probably not. I'm like 35. They're probably all younger than me with babies. But I feel like you don't really feel older as you grow older. You just feel like people get younger. So you probably never feel ready to have a kid, which I don't. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, it just seems like a lot of work. There's also the thought that's like, yo, so since the beginning of time, every single person has had kids all the way down until you, and you're just gonna be so selfish that you're gonna have a kid and carry on the bloodline. Like that's a thought, right? So I just hope my brother has a kid soon, so then he carries on the bloodline, and then I could just chill. So that is second child energy. Anyways, hope this video was interesting. Talk to you soon. Thanks.